Well, hello everyone, what is going on? It is the Almighty Jeff and I'm here with episode 15 of Assassin's Creed. In the previous episode we assassinated Abul Nukud, I don't even know how you pronounce that still, in Damas. And in this episode, as per usual, I am in Acre, in the rich district this time, collecting all the flags, killing all the Templars, scanning all the viewpoints and saving all the citizens. Now for this Q&A topic I am conveniently enough going to be discussing Assassin's Creed. I've got another load of questions from Ron, thanks a lot to him, so I'm going to answer them in my personal opinion. So let's get straight on into question 1, which is, all the protagonists walk into a bar. After a few ales, a brawl breaks out. Which one walks out alive and why? I'd probably say Altair, just because in terms of story, he is the one who's been in it for the longest period of time. He's been brought up in the Order since a child, and he's quite the badass, to be quite honest. So I'll probably definitely say Altair would be leaving there alive, but Ezio would be pretty close as well. I think it'd be Ezio and Altair down to the last two. Obviously there are quite a few badass ones, but I think those two are the best, but Altair takes the biscuit, I think. Who is the most memorable antagonist of the series? I'd say probably Haytham Kenway, but I'm reluctant to because he's not really that much of an antagonist. He's only really the antagonist because he's the head of the Templars. But I think he was the most charming antagonist and the one that you kind of wanted to survive. Like, he has a really powerful thing, because the fact in Assassin's Creed 3 you've played the first 2 or 3 sequences as Haytham, and then he's still quite a casual guy. I mean, he does still try and make an alliance with his son. You do kind of root for Haytham a bit, and it's kind of devastating when you've got to kill him. But if I can't say Haytham, because I mean he's not really that much of an antagonist, probably Cesare Borgia from Brotherhood. He's quite a memorable antagonist as well. He was quite brutal, even I mean, it's a bit late to be saying spoiler alert now. Even kills his own father for not listening to him. Like, that's pretty brutal, and obviously based off the actual Borgia family. So yeah, those two are my top 2 antagonists of the series. So, what's the most memorable scene of the entire series? There's quite a few that really are powerful. I think probably the one I'm going to go with is in Assassin's Creed 2. It's part of one of the DLC sequences. It's the Bonfire of the Vanities DLC. If you've got that, I think it's sequence 13. It's an amazing one, and at the end, once you've killed the Templar who had a ruling over the people, and Ezio made the speech about how you should follow your own creed and just do what is right in life and don't listen to anybody, no one owns you, you are your own person. That's a really powerful scene, and when they've got like the assassins like Mario and Machiavelli and all that all stood and watching him as he's making that speech. That's a really powerful scene, to be honest, in my opinion. But obviously another one from Assassin's Creed 2 still is Ezio's family, his Giovanni, Federico and Petruchio, their execution at the start of... No, it's the last memory of sequence 1. That's another really powerful scene. So yeah, those are my favourite scenes in the entire series. In the last Assassin's Creed game, we got into the Industrial Revolution. Do you think the series should continue to explore more modern themes or return to more medieval times? It's a tough question, that, to be honest. I quite like the Renaissance era, but we did spend a lot of time there. Obviously, there's the three Ezio games, and you know, like the Assassin's Creed 3 is pretty much just at the end of the Renaissance, start of Industrial Revolution. But I did like that period of time. I don't think going later on like, because it seems to be getting closer and closer to modern times, because it went from Unity, which was, I think it was late 1800, no, early 1800s, I think, wasn't it? And then we've got Syndicate, which is mid 19th century, and then it's kind of gradually getting closer, and obviously the biggest rumor going on now that it's going all the way back to the ancient Egyptian times, which I'm still unsure how that's going to work, because from what I know, the Brotherhood didn't exist before the Palestine Assassins, which is the one that Al-Mualim and Altair were part of. So I don't know if that's going to add a new twist to the thing and how gameplay style that will be like, 'cause I mean it was quite limited in the first Assassin's Creed game, because you're just restricted to knives and swords basically, and your blade. So I mean it's going to even be more limited than that is, so it'll be interesting, I should think. But it's slowly from Unity onwards got to just pistols and stuff like that, and it just makes it too easy, I think. Although it would be nice to see a game take place maybe during one of the World Wars. I mean, we did have that little bit of extra from Syndicate where you could go into World War I Britain, but that was only very minor. I think if that was a full game, that would have been quite enjoyable. But if not that, Renaissance period, again, I quite like that period, so that's what I'm going to say. Okay, so the Assassin's Creed series has experimented with various game mechanics over the years, such as bombs, guns, climbing hooks, crafting, art puzzles, fortress defense, etc. Which do you think worked the best, and which do you think were complete failures? I quite enjoyed the bomb mechanic in Revelations, how you got to make your own gun, make your own bombs, how you gathered substances, made your own, customised them to face stealth, slowing down enemies, killing enemies. You know, I quite enjoyed making bombs in Revelations. I liked the grapple from Syndicate, because London was such a massive map, and it just made that much of a difference to, I mean, you've got such massive landmarks like the Elizabeth Tower. Sorry for being a bit exact, but I mean Big Ben. You've got Big Ben, you've got St. Stephen's, you've got St. Paul's. You know, you've got massive landmarks. They take forever to climb up, and especially with such detail that they put into the landmarks, that it would take forever to climb rather than just a few ledges upwards like it used to be. So, and scaling across the rooftops with the you know, with the launcher, the rope launcher, was actually an amazing mechanic. But one that I wasn't really too keen on was the mechanic from Brotherhood and Revelations, where and 3 as well, where you would send off assassins in your own Brotherhood to deal with far off places, because I mean it's like a never-ending activity, and I always kind of want things to have a closure, like something that will finish at some point. Like, even if it took a while, but it's still finished, like Kenway's fleet, or the fleets from Shay Cormac's fleet. Like, those did have an end to them. Like, there was something that you aimed to go for. Whereas those, like, and the fact that Templars will come back and take over the territories that you've done, it just kind of makes it a lot of effort, and I didn't really enjoy that too much. So, yes. Memorable sea shanties. You know, you've got Billy Riley. That's the one that always comes to mind. Like, oh, Billy Riley, oh, Billy Riley. That's a crazy one and a popular favourite. And Wamey Susiana. That's a good one as well. And then there's the What Shall We Do with the Drunken Sailor. They've got quite a few funny ones, to be honest. Ones that just come to mind when I think of sea shanties. So, yeah, those are some of my favourite sea shanties. And the last one is Desmond has quite the story arc. What do you think about it? And obviously this is big spoilers. Obviously if you don't know, and you're not bothered about the spoilers, in the conclusion of Assassin's Creed 3, Desmond Miles, who's the main protagonist of the modern story arc, sacrifices himself to prevent the second, like, I don't even know what it's called, like, almost like a plague, but of like fire and like a massive solar wave that would just wipe out life on Earth. He prevented that. I think the modern story is still quite a very much an important part of the Assassin's Creed series. Even though, like, at certain points you're in the mood in the historical part, and then you'll get dragged out, and then you get a little bit frustrated, but I feel like the series has gone downhill since Assassin's Creed 3 in terms of the modern story, like, especially in 4 and Rogue, where they had nothing to do with the assassins at all. You were actually part of Abstergo, and you were literally just on the computers recording stuff. It just kind of felt a bit forced. But, you know, it was nice in Syndicate to see Sean and Rebecca, because those two are some of my favourite characters in the actual series. So maybe we'll see more of a involved part in the modern storyline from now on, because they did leave us with quite the cliffhanger of what was happening to Sean and Rebecca at the end of Syndicate. So we might have more of involved with them, but I feel like Desmond's death was kind of like a halt on the end of the modern storyline. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. And that is all the questions that I have for Assassin's Creed. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you leave me more comments for more questions for future topics. And I shall see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.